Are you thinking about buying a home in Pennsylvania? Let me help you get started by giving you a general overview of how that works. Over my 25 years here in Lancaster County serving clients who are looking to purchase a home, I've helped hundreds of buyers, and I'd love to help you get started by giving you an overview and kind of a roadmap of getting the process started. You will want to start by getting a mortgage pre-approval, and I highly recommend that you consider using a local lender. There's a lot of benefit to using someone who's local in the market that you're purchasing in because, number one, there's going to be name recognition with the seller's agent who's presenting your offer. Number two, they're also keenly aware of local loan products that may be specific to whatever county you're purchasing in. In Pennsylvania, there's generally several different loan types you can use. One of them is conventional financing. That tends to be seen as the next best thing to a cash purchase. However, you can also look at using a VA loan if you're a veteran or military, and you can also look at using FHA, which is a government-financed loan. In addition, we also have USDA financing and also some financing through PHFA, or the Pennsylvania Housing. When you're choosing where you want to live, you'll want to consider a number of things. Number one would be school district and area, commutability to your things that are part of your life, whether it's work, church, hobbies. You want to take into consideration the practicality of the location that you're looking at. Another thing to remember in Pennsylvania, or anywhere for that matter when you're purchasing, is to keep in mind that there are a lot of different tax variations. So depending on your specific municipality, here in Lancaster County, we've got 52 different municipalities, all with a different tax basis. And also the school districts have their own different tax basis as well. So the identical home at the identical price could have wildly varying taxes, and that's something that's important to look at as you're considering purchasing. We recommend that you start with a mortgage pre-approval with the local lender, and in that you're going to find out what your tax payments would look like if they're rolled in as part of the mortgage. They can run a comprehensive estimate for you that includes the amount of cash you're going to need to close, the amount of money you're going to need to put down, as well as what your monthly payments are going to be. So we always recommend that you start with pre-approval. And another piece that a lot of people miss is reviewing your credit score. Everyone is entitled by law to one free credit score check per year by going to annualcreditreport.com. Highly recommend this. Oftentimes there are accounts that you may not even realize you still have open. There might be a missed payment on something, so it's a good thing to get an upfront look at your own credit score and take any action that's needed as you're getting ready to purchase a home. When you're looking at homes, there's a number of things you're going to want to take into consideration. Number one, is it public water and public sewer, or is there an on-site septic? And something that you need to think about with that, as well as maybe on-site well water. And there's different stipulations and different nuances when you're purchasing depending on the water and sewer sources. So that's something to consider. You'll also want to take a close look at the foundation while you're at the property and look for any structural cracks and any other red flags, such as an outdated electrical panel and some of those types of things. We recommend that before you look at the properties that you do a thorough review of the seller's property disclosure if it's available. Sellers are by law required to complete a seller's disclosure unless it's an estate or some other entity like an attorney who's selling the property, in which case they are not required to. But the majority of the properties will have a seller's disclosure, and there's a lot of really good information on there. So we recommend that you look at that to determine if this property is something that you actually want to go take a look at. Insider tip when you're looking at properties is also to ask your agent to check with the seller's agent to see whether utility costs are available so that you can gauge what your costs to own the property are going to look like beyond the mortgage. When you're making an offer, there's some really important things to consider. One is that you want to consider, again, all of the components of the seller's disclosure. If there's any alarms on that or red flags, you may want to work with your agent to come up with a strategy to tackle those right up front as part of your offer terms. Another thing that you want to consider, kind of an insider tip, is the deposit money. In years past, it was fairly common for people to put down a deposit of maybe $500 or $1,000. We're not seeing that anymore. Most properties are seeing deposits upon offer acceptance of somewhere in the 3 to 5 to 10% of the total purchase price. So the higher the deposit, the more solid of an offer from a seller's vantage point, and that can help you when you're structuring your offer terms. Another thing is that you want to be very aware of the agreement of sale or the sales contract that's going to be structured so that you are being presented in the best light possible relative to the offer terms. So things like looking at what is the seller's preference on a settlement date, trying to line your purchase up with their needed timeline can also be big. So a good deposit, lining up the terms of the settlement date with what the seller's looking for, and of course the more solid your pre-approval, the better that's going to be as well for both seller and buyer. Once you've got an accepted offer, we enter the contingency period. The inspections that you can choose would be a whole house inspection, which basically covers everything from the roof all the way down to the foundation. Also includes the electrical, the mechanicals of the home, and that's a really good comprehensive overview of the property. We always recommend that buyers are present for the home inspection because it's an interactive time for you with your chosen home inspector to review anything or any red flags that they're seeing as they're looking through the home. Another inspection that we can do is a termite or wood infestation inspection. That covers things like termites, carpenter bees, carpenter ants, anything that can attack the structure of the home by being a wood destroying insect. So that's another one that also can be done as part of your inspection contingency. There are also inspections for water and septic. If there's on-site water, oftentimes people want to check both quality and or quantity of the well flow. If it's public water, it's less common to have a water inspection. However, not unheard of. When it comes to the sewer, the septic system can get into a lot of big costs really quickly if there are problems with it. So we always recommend, if there is an on-site septic, that you carefully review the seller's disclosure, and if the system has not been checked anytime recently. Most of the municipalities here do mandate that the system is pumped out every 3 years. However, I just had one recently where it was longer than that, so we ended up asking for the sellers to go ahead and have the system emptied and serviced prior to settlement. When it's public sewer, it still may be worth doing an inspection, and that could include scoping of the sewer line. We've got a lot of historic and older properties here, and in those instances, it can definitely be something where the pipes are starting to deteriorate after many, many years of use. So a sewer scope may still be something that you want to consider. Another inspection that a lot of people are uncertain about is a radon inspection. Radon is a naturally occurring gas that kind of happens as the limestone and things under the ground start to break down. It releases a radon gas, and studies have shown that over long-term exposure, that can be a problem. Typically your basement, because of the location, is going to have the highest concentration of radon, and we recommend that you think about checking for that. If you're unsure about that, I highly recommend that you look up Stanley Watrous. It's a gentleman who essentially kind of brought radon to the light here in Pennsylvania, and you'll understand a little bit more about the history of radon and why that may be an inspection that you may want to consider. Once your home is under contract and you've got an accepted offer, your lender's going to be collecting a lot of different documents from you. That typically includes 2 years of tax returns, 2 months of financial statements for all of your financial accounts, including checking, savings, even retirement. And one thing that you want to remember as you're going through the home purchasing process is never ever do any large monetary actions without first talking to your lender. Whether it's purchasing an engagement ring, purchasing furniture, appliances, a vehicle, co-signing for a loan. All of those things can totally rock your ability to qualify for your mortgage on the home that you're under contract on. If in doubt, call the lender. They're going to be happy to talk it through with you and give you ways to do that. You also want to avoid any large deposits or withdrawals in any of your accounts during the period from contract through closing, so that the lender doesn't have red flags and need to substantiate further where those monies came from and or where those charges came from. We recommend not opening any additional credit cards. Don't cut back your hours at work. Don't make a job change. Again, if you're thinking about any of those things, please pick up the phone and have a conversation with your lender directly. The lender is required to order the appraisal, so that is not something that you will do, although you will be charged for that appraisal. it further substantiates to the bank that the value is there and that the funding that they're giving you for the loan or the purchase is going to be substantiated by the present value in its present condition and location. As a bonus, I would also recommend highly that you familiarize yourself with the Pennsylvania sales contract. I've got a great guide that I'm happy to share with you. If you want to comment below, just let me know. I can send you the consumer's guide to the agreement of sale. That's going to be the layman's terms of everything that you're going to sign as you structure your offer for a seller. It's real important to have understanding of what that is before you find a house and suddenly have to try and navigate through this many-page contract. So again, we'll walk you through that step by step, but again, having that upfront can be a big benefit to you so that you understand the process and exactly what you're going to need to know and navigate through as part of the home purchase process in Pennsylvania. So if you have any questions about buying, please feel free to comment below. I do watch all of the comments regularly. I'm Jennifer King. I've been in business here in Lancaster County for 25 years. Happy to help and answer any questions. It's a lot of information, and our job is to guide you step by step and walk with you through the entire process to ensure that not only the negotiations or the structure of your offer terms, but that the entire process is as smooth and seamless as possible. Hope that you'll join us again soon, and thanks for tuning in today.